POW, baby. That's right, this is war. We got the Diablo crybabies versus the CU podcast. What a controversy, huh? All right, guys, first let me start off by saying that I'm a big fan of the CU podcast. Have been for years. I'm a supporter. And there's very few times that I disagree with them. But this, my friends, will be one of the times that I do disagree with them. Probably because I think they didn't have enough information when they, said what they said, which I think was a little unfair for the customers, right? And that's what we're talking about here. The customer's always right, right? I mean, it's a basic principle. But I don't just mean the customer as far as, these guys are fans of Diablo and what have you. I think it went a little bit beyond that. I think that Blizzard did enough to create the expectation that these guys were going to get something, a little bit of something on Diablo that, they've been waiting for years. I mean, it's not like they've been waiting, a year and a half. It's years they've been waiting for something else, an update, anything. At this point, they were hoping for anything. And Blizzard did drop a couple of hints that they were going to make an announcement, and they knew, it's like these guys don't know. And the people protesting, it's not like they just sacrificed nothing to go there. It's not everything's free, right? If you traveled and you paid hotel and, took days off, whatever you had to do, man, I mean, it's going to scorch you if you go somewhere where they created the appearance that you're going to get something, and at the end, they give you a big middle finger right up your face. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened here. It's just not crybabies for the sake of being crybabies. I mean, these are the guys who built the franchise, the hardcore Diablo fans, which I'm not part of, by the way. In no way am I saying, I love Diablo or what have you. I, played it very few times. But that doesn't mean they don't have the right to protest, especially when this expectation was hinted at a couple of times and created by Blizzard, just so they would have more hype for their BlizzCon, right? So how can they not expect to get blowback, right? And then their response to the protests were even more glib, I mean, these guys talk about not reading the room, right? And a little bit of the same thing went on, I think, with the CU podcast. I mean, I don't know how Pat and Ian didn't realize that, part of, their audience are Diablo fans. I mean, how could they not? But, I mean, it's, sometimes it's burnout from everybody being outraged at everything. People are protesting the PlayStation Mini already. It's not good enough. They should have had this. They should have had that. Even though they can hack it, you're going to be able to hack this and put whatever the hell you want in there. They still create a controversy. Oh, I can't do it because they don't have, the one game that my grandma bought me in the third grade or whatever. It's not going to be perfect, guys. It's just, something you can get or what have you. But in this case, I think it goes beyond just some tantrum where you just don't like a product. I think these guys were invested in the game. They were invested in the con itself, and they felt cheated, man, and as well they should. Now, if it would have been me, I could tell you it wouldn't have gone so smoothly. I wouldn't have said, is this an April Fool's joke? I would have laid right into these fools, but, with a full awareness that these guys are just doing their job. The guys up on the stage are not the ones making the final call. These are the guys that are the faces put out there by corporate. This is a corporate decision. Why are they going into mobile gaming? Because they have to. Because that's where the market is going. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, it doesn't matter. The reality is in most of the world, mobile gaming is done through your cell phone. And that's just reality, man. And that's what they're looking at. The bean counters are not looking at your entertainment. At the end of the day, you have to remember that the only reason for these companies to exist is not to fulfill your every dream in gaming. I know it's shocking, right? Their only reason for existing is to make money. That's it. No other. With that said, that doesn't give them the right to mislead people. It doesn't give them the right to treat the customers badly, and not to follow the golden rule. The customer's always right. What happens when these corporations don't follow that? How many big corporations that have, inundated their games with microtransactions are now trying to, buy back their reputation? It's pretty hard, and I think this is where this is going. Now, when it comes to Ian and Pat, I think sometimes, in a couple of issues, they're a little bit, on the wrong side. And in this one, I think you can clearly see it. Because I don't think they made the argument knowing full well everything that went into the con and what people's expectations were based on what Blizzard had created. I mean, when you go to a conference, when you go to to anywhere, where you travel anywhere to do anything, you're gonna spend money, and you're not gonna spend that money if you're gonna go get screwed. And I can tell you again, I mean, if it was me and somebody screwed me like that and, create an expectation I'm going to get some special news or some special release, I mean, at least there should have been a remaster of Diablo 2 or, a new episode for 3 or something, anything, or at least announce, hey, you know what, we're working on this. I think that would have made it a little bit better, but they got nothing. And then the reaction from these guys was, well, don't you have cell phones? Well, of course they do, right? So I think to call them crybabies, I think was a little unfair, because they did have a right to gripe. They did have a right to express their voices. Whether you agree with them or not, they did have the right. But then again, when it comes to the bean counters, they're going to do whatever they're going to do, whether it's microtransactions, whether it's mobile gaming. You and I are going to get the short end of the stick, and that's just all there is to it, man. All you can do is not give them your money, protest like hell, and make sure everybody hears you. So those are my thoughts, guys. I mean, in general, I enjoy these guys' show. Like I said, I'm a supporter. Just in this particular case, I think they rushed to judgment on this one. They should have done a little bit more homework, and they would have seen that there was a little bit more to it than just people bitching for the sake of bitching, of being crybabies, of not getting what they wanted. There was more than that, and I think that with a loyal customer base like you have in Diablo, I think they deserve better. I mean, this customer base is a big part of why Blizzard is Blizzard, of why, Diablo is such a big game, and why, these people are invested in it to the point they get upset. So I think there should be a little bit more appreciation for that, even though I don't like crybabies and wusses or anything like that. This is one of the few cases that I have to agree with the customer griping. All right, guys, those are my thoughts. I usually don't disagree with this, guys. I do like I said, I do like the CU podcast. I'm a supporter. I'm also a supporter of this game, by the way. If you have any retro parents out there who enjoy old school gaming, the 40th anniversary collection, especially for the museum section and the extras, the bonus extras on here are amazing. But it's not for everybody. It has to be for somebody of my generation or the generation that played these games. If not, these games are pretty dated, but they're a lot of fun, especially if you like ass kicking. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Remember, like I always tell you, never, ever be afraid to be happy. And if I'm feeling up to it tomorrow, hopefully I'll feel better. I'll do another Gen X Gamer fitness. I just had the stomach flu, and I'm just really, really low on fluids. So hopefully tomorrow I get a walk in and, after I take the meds today. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.